Hey chili heads, welcome back to Red or Green. Well, fall is in the air, and when it starts to get cold, I tend to go or gravitate towards these delicious, comforting meals. And today that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a Burque Grilled Cheese. We're gonna put some green chili, some tomatoes, cook it on sourdough bread, and then we're gonna make this delicious, spicy, roasted tomato soup. So I just want to say that if you don't like chili or you don't want it too spicy, you can completely keep the chili and spice out of this and it would be just as delicious. I'm really excited to share this with you. It's something that I make whenever I don't feel well, or at the beginning of fall, it starts to get cold. This is a really comforting, delicious meal. Takes me back to my childhood, grilled cheese and tomato soup. You're gonna love this, and I hope you try it. Also, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit post notifications. That way, whenever we release a new video, you get notified right away. Also, it's green chili season is upon us, and I like to put it in everything. So I want to hear from you about what recipes you'd like to see with some green chili this season. All right, I think we've got everything we need here, so let's get to it. So we're going to start by making this delicious garlic aioli. I'm going to peel 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, and then I'm going to press them into a small bowl. Next, I'll add the juice of an entire lemon, and I'm going to set this aside and let the garlic sort of infuse into the lemon. We'll come back to this later. Now we're going to move on to making our soup. I'm going to start by finely dicing about 1/4 of a yellow onion. After this is all diced up, it should be about 1/2 cup. Next, I'm going to mince up 2 garlic cloves. Now in a medium saucepan, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. And I'm going to cook the onion just until it's translucent. Now add the garlic, and I'm going to continue cooking just until the garlic becomes sort of fragrant. You can smell it. Now I'll add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder and 2 15-ounce cans of roasted tomatoes. Make sure they're fire roasted. I'm going to stir all this up until it's combined. And then I'll add about 1.5 cups of water. I'm using the cans from the tomato. Bring this up to a boil. And then I'll add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to turn down the heat, and I'm going to let this cook for about 20 minutes. Now going back to the aioli, I'm going to drain the garlic from the lemon juice. So you can't use the garlic for anything else, so go ahead and throw it out. Then I'll add 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and I'm going to stir this up until everything is combined and it's nice and creamy. Now set it aside. Now coming back to our soup. It's been about 20 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and blend the soup up. I'm using my stand blender, but you could also use an immersion blender for this. Don't forget to vent the blender if you're going to blend it in a standing blender, because if it's still hot, it's going to need to release some of that steam. And using a towel to cover it so that it doesn't splatter all over. Now, we'll add it back to the pan. And I'm going to let it cool just a bit. I'm not going to put it over the heat. I'm just going to let it cool slightly. And then I'll add 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Stir it all up, and we'll set this aside just on low heat while we prepare our grilled cheese. Start by buttering the outside of both slices of bread. On the inside, we're going to add our garlic aioli. Now set the butter side down and start adding your ingredients. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese for this, but you could also use a Gruyere or even a provolone. It just depends on what kind of cheese you like in this. And then I'm going to add 3 slices of tomato. I like using Roma tomatoes here because they hold up well in the sandwich. Next, I'll add about 2 tablespoons of chopped green chili. You can scale this back if you don't want the spice. Now we'll add some more cheese and then top it with our other slice of bread and let it cook up until the bottom side is golden brown. Then we're going to flip this, and I'm using my fork to help me out here so that it doesn't fall apart. As you can see, it kind of fell to the wayside, but you just gotta straighten it out. And so once both sides are golden brown, we're gonna take it off the heat and let it cool for just a couple of minutes before I slice into it. Now we're gonna serve this up with our roasted tomato soup. This is a wonderful, comforting meal. I hope you give it a try, and if you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. Enjoy!